This Super Bowl 59 prop bets, ladders, and leaders edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Earn up to $750 per month on your sports gambling transactions. Go to edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm, the leader in data-driven picks and props. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Hey, this is Brandon Lang. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Cram?
Dog.
Sean, only a couple more episodes before I have to retire this.
Oh,
for
really?
Good.
You won't bring it up anymore?
It will go into a permanent resting place here.
Okay.
Somewhere on set, and I know I will no longer bring it up obnoxiously.
If you're listening,
you get 12 months of touting.
if you're listening to the audio version, Ryan is holding up his Kyle Juszczyk autographed mini helmet, celebrating his prop, winning prop. Kyle Juszczyk first reception in the game, or was it just for the 49ers?
There were two 30-1 if you got down on the first in game, but we found the plus 2375 at the circuit just for the Niners. Obviously that's a better bet. That was the heavy investment. That was the bet that the circuit did not have enough cash to pay me. Sean, you witnessed that.
I did.
Not a made up story.
Well, you went to the upstairs sportsbook, but the guys did go, I can pay you in chips. Is that okay? And Ryan's eyes lit up saying, yeah, that's fine.
Took out the old bucket list and checked off that one.
Yeah. Taking him down one step at a time. Joining us in studio. You know him. You love him. He is the laddie daddy. He is the man in the box. CJ Sullivan. What's happening, CJ?
What's up, fellas? Here we are.
Super Bowl week.
Right, incredible. Right beforehand. I mean, and I'm glad to hear that news, Ryan. That you are putting the helmet away.
Oh,
that news, not just a Super Bowl week. I'm glad to hear that news, of course, as well.
There is a rivalry between CJ and the Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah, he doesn't like it on his show, so he's got to move it somewhere. And then Ryan moves it back.
Sliding away, and everyone's waiting for the next pick. And I don't know. I'm not saying you're reading your own press clippings, but you're living in your history. You're outbunning it a little bit.
100%. I'm reading my own press clippings.
I think you need to move forward with it. And I think we're all excited. It would be a great move for everybody.
Who was the guy with the money pit that he would go swimming in? I'm doing backstroke.
Scrooge McDuck.
I'm doing backstroke.
Who was that guy?
that Scrooge McDuck guy.
The cartoon elderly duck.
I'm doing backstroke in my Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah.
It's the end of the road. I got a couple hours, 72 hours left.
You should. It was great. It was incredible.
It's a great run, and I will have a banger. I will let everyone know on the pregame show, Sean. 1
you're
PM,
holding it till the pregame
1 p.m. on Sunday. I will let everyone know what the one VSiN guide play is that broke the universe.
Can't believe it.
Well, that's where the press clippings come from.
Has it been discussed that when I do move it, I don't put it back? That it's a is it a problem when we come back?
No.
Because I put it in a different place every time.
Yeah, no, I enjoy it, CJ. I like because Ryan's like, oh, where's my Kyle Juszczyk? We got to talk about Kyle Juszczyk here. Oh yeah, Ryan frantically putting in his bid for the Kyle Juszczyk helmet, and I reminded Ryan. The 49ers lost. You're not competing against anyone. No fans won an autographed mini helmet from a Super Bowl. They lost from a fullback that no one cares about.
I know at least 2 members of the Kramer gang that purchased a very similar Kyle Juszczyk.
Well, yeah, these small percentage of people that want to celebrate the Kyle Juszczyk first reception market. Wow. I wouldn't say that's like a huge demand.
Shout out to Dean.
Shout out to Dean. Shout out to the chat. And chat is lit. Everyone checking in, getting ready for the big game. CJ, you're gonna be how are you feeling? Everyone keeps asking me, are you nervous? What's your confidence level? How do you got things shaking out?
Well, it's not real to me yet. You know what I mean? I still haven't even chosen my desired watching area of it because I'm
That's
balanced.
smart.
Still got to balance out. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Let the Juju tell you where to go. CJ.
sure. Let the Juju go where you got to go. You know, I know I want to take the game in. I can't be around different people. I know you guys are having a wonderful party
Yes.
here, and I did one of my favorite things. And I clicked maybe on the Evite guest
yeah.
list. I like to check out the list. You know, I mean,
That's further than I got.
And he even got a thinking face emoji going. I think. I don't know if that they automatically
I
put
think,
that
yeah,
there,
that's not
or
me.
if CJ added it. It's with like, thinking about it.
right? Lizzie Cooperman showing up, eh? And,
She's a strong maybe as well.
yeah, she is a strong maybe. Big fan of hers, but you know,
Yeah,
She
but
a civilian?
I don't know if I need that during the Eagles Super Bowl.
Yeah,
though.
so
That's
we
the
were just
situation.
talking about this. I said,
Right.
Sean, how many civilians we got
Yeah.
showing up?
So
There'll be a handful because my wife took over the Evite and invited some non-ball knowers to the party, but it's a Super Bowl party.
right.
I set a zone of like, you know, don't come in this zone.
My daughter, I go.
What about your kids and
older
wife?
one has something cooler to do.
Oh, okay.
She's in high school. Come on.
Yeah.
But the younger one, to my surprise, I go, "You want to come to the office for the Super Bowl?" She goes, "Sure."
Wow.
And I go, "Huh."
Wonder why she wants to go.
And
right?
she goes, "Are there going to be lots of crazy people there?" And I go, "Amelia, the craziest thing you're going to see is Sean." So
Right.
you've seen Sean rooting for football before.
Good point.
It doesn't make any sense. He screams at the TVs. That's all you
Makes a ton of sense.
That's the furthest.
I
it'll
thought
go.
she was gonna come because last time she and you had rigged our personal Super Bowl squares to pay off your daughter. And what did she in the group family text when you told her she won? She said built different.
She uses built different occasionally.
Yes.
It's not the only time she's done that, but she did also take the majority of her $3,000 in winnings and buy Bitcoin.
Oh,
So
I mean, just
smarter than the rest of us who put it in our sports betting account.
And maybe she also wants to check out the.
But yes, she wants to come back also because she understands the feeling of winning money on the Super Bowl. It's hooked.
Yeah, maybe mommy put her on a mission too when she found out your T-shirt in the laundry.
Oh.
Remember that? And she's
yes.
asked questions about
Ryan,
it.
of course, is Rocky the can I see your TDs T-shirt again? 25% off. Promo code Big Game from now until the big game.
What's worse, having to explain away some sort of paraphernalia or a T-shirt with a hilariously sophomoric joke on it? which one's easier?
Yeah.
I learned it from you, Dad.
Well, here I will say the younger one has worn the refs are terrorist shirt to school, so
That's fine.
we survived. No one said anything.
That was a great. You just reminded me of a moment. I was walking around in Pasadena with my wife. We were going to get lunch, and there was a guy outside the Scientology building.
Oh.
They have a Scientology buildings. They're almost like, and they have a guy out there, kind of like those guys back in the day that would bug you about trying to give out their mix CD.
Yeah.
And he's, hey, can I ask you a couple questions? I'm like, I don't say anything. My wife's like, we're good. And he go like, I just have a couple quick questions. I'm like, no, we're good. And then the guy goes, wait, who are terrorists? What does that say on your shirt? and I go, refs are terrorists. And he goes, who? And I'm like walking away, and my wife goes, it's a sports thing. And I'm like, I don't talk to him. But it was just such a weird thing.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about your terrorist sweatshirt.
You know
I don't
what?
want to have a conversation with you, Scientology guy.
Maybe he was
about
sensing-
refs being terrorists.
Might have been sensing your theta levels right now. It's Super Bowl week.
Oh, they're
You're
locked
very
in.
focused. You're probably as close as you're ever going to be to the alien being that those people worship.
I just like being so
Allegedly.
so disappointed that it was a joke. Like, oh, there's not another terrorist I can add to my
Well,
list.
yeah,
of-
because I'm sure he has some.
Right.
Well, terrorists, they have a lot of anger and they need Scientology. I'm sure there was some Scientology connection,
100%.
which I did not want to.
We apparently there will be a slow drip of refs are terrorists adjustments for various sports. So
Oh, okay,
we
yeah.
already have
Slow
the
drip.
race officials are terrorists. The shirt out.
Marshals are terrorists with a golf marshal on there. I think will look pretty sweet.
I think I think there may be an MMA one in our future.
There you
so
go.
Stay tuned.
Judges are terrorists.
Judges are terrorists. That one's a little close because you don't want to commit to.
Well, just put Herb Dean on there.
All right, yeah.
Herb Dean's a terrorist.
Shout out to Herb Dean, fellow Southwest lover.
Yeah, I was
ran
gonna
into
say.
Herb Dean on a Southwest flight.
We've seen Herb Dean more than once at the airport. That's a real to do, real flex.
Shout out to Parlay Prince. He said my wife's boyfriend liked my refs are terrorists t-shirt. Well, congratulations on your polyamorous life and supporting SGPN.
It's a great icebreaker, right?
Yeah.
You go to that. You maybe you're going to the in-laws or whatever for the holidays. You very quickly who might be a ball knower.
Wife's boyfriend. I know why he likes parlays so much.
He's turning everything into a three-legger. All right,
3 legs.
Yeah, well, yeah, 3 legs to a parlay.
Okay.
So we're breaking down game. We got
one of those upside down stools you like to play with.
We got an Eagles ladder. We got a Chiefs ladder. We got some first touchdown.
Can I be honest? I
Yes.
almost skipped Eagles ladder.
Oh, that why did you almost skip Eagles ladder, Ryan?
Because
It's too hard to see Saquon successful.
Too many.
I liked so many Chiefs ladders.
All right.
All right.
I liked so many Chiefs ladders, but I found one. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right. I knew that you could find an OSHA certified ladder. And hey, if you're going to be playing ladders or TDs, you know where you got to go. DraftKings. That's right. This is the big game, but I can actually say Super Bowl in the DraftKings commercial because the DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 59. We gave out a ton of TD bets that we like, and we're going to be giving out our first touchdown plays here in just a second, getting these prices right from the DraftKings Sportsbook. And they got it all over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Obviously, everyone loves betting the anytime, the first, the last touchdown, multi-touchdown. There are so many ways to get down over at DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. All you got to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SGP. That's code SGP for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus. Agent eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. I've been using Rhythm a ton to get ready for the big game. They got you covered, and Rhythm also been firing on some pretty sweet college basketball picks. We're going to be getting back into college basketball once football's over, but in the meantime, Isaiah Pacheco. This is a guy I've seen a lot of people fading, but I kind of agree with Rhythm that his number maybe has gotten too low.
Really?
What do you think his rush yards is at, Ryan?
It's probably like 38 and a half.
21 and a half rush yards.
That is pretty low
for Isaiah Pacheco. Rhythm has this at a 81.8% win probability. So again, they liked that play and they like a lot of props, and you can get your own model going over at Rhythm and get that 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Kramer, let's start it off. Get the ladders out.
Whoa.
We will let CJ go last, but what do you got, Kramer? What's your first ladder?
No pre-production on the ladder meeting, so hopefully this is safe.
Okay.
So, like I said, very, very close to not giving out an Eagles ladder, but I didn't want to break any rules. And I was kind of digging into some stuff, and back to my thoughts on how the game is going to flow. It made me think like, oh man, there are going to be some passes to the running back based on how I think the game's going to go.
Good way to counteract the blitz.
Yeah, and I do think that, you know, in my head, the idea that Barkley is held to no big plays the entire game seems unlikely. So I love the idea of him breaking one of his big plays in the form of a little swing pass, screen pass, something like that, little misdirection to the tight end back over to Barkley. Because I think when Barkley is going to be such the focus, you almost have to play 4D chess at times. So anyway, we'll stay tuned to later in the show because we'll talk more about Barkley in the receiving game. But love the idea of him busting a big one here. 13. His number is 12.5 minus 110. Plus 250 to get to 25 yards. Sean, 6-1 for 40 yards, and for him to get 50 yards, this was startling to me. 9-1. Barkley has a 50-yard game is 9-1.
Yeah, I mean him breaking one is.
Someone I didn't see it on the app, but someone mentioned that the Circa has an even better price. I was told plus 1075 on Barkley
really?
50. That doesn't sound like the right price.
And I wouldn't. Barkley, I think, is one of those guys that you could do reverse correlation. Under 2.5 receptions, over 50 receiving yards, something like that.
Stomping all over my same game parlay.
Oh, is that
later?
Okay, well, you didn't have it filled out in the sheet.
Well,
right,
it's hidden because I didn't want you to steal it.
Well,
I know how you are. When I saw that you were working up the last couple polishes on your touchdown, your props for today, I said okay.
And this is why we show the rehearsal.
This
is why we can't just win it and come on here live on the air. We're not Charles Barkley. We're not Shaquille O'Neal. We can't just wing it out
CJ
here.
knows how it is in the office. Sometimes you can't. It's like Andy Reid and the good plays.
Yeah.
You can't show Sean the good plays before the show sometimes.
I've seen you even do a Mike Leach and drop a fake play sheet, a fake parlay
I fell
sheet.
for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, sometimes
I
I have admittedly brought up a fake narrative to try to throw Sean off of stuff before.
What do you mean?
Right.
Oh, like we're talking about a thing. I might share one thing that I like, knowing that it won't be the thing that I end up using on the show because I want to.
Yeah, you're like Colby. You play both sides.
Yeah.
I get that.
No, it's not both sides. It's just different sides.
Well, CJ and Kramer keeps up with this narrative that I'm on edge. I'm nervous about the big game.
You're very nervous.
Really, Kramer is the one that's nervous because he has put so much pressure on himself to redo the Kyle Juszczyk prop, and I've been seeing him the wheels spinning in his own head.
Are you kidding me?
What am I gonna do to beat it? This is a ton of pressure. I'm overthinking it. Do I just fire? He won't even announce it on the show.
Can we role play?
Sure.
Here's what happens if I don't hit my single shot banger this year.
Yeah.
I refer back to the Kyle Juszczyk first reception for another year.
Classic
Tout 2 years ago.
But I think he's hyped it up
as well as you should.
No,
I know.
you know what it is?
It's gonna be a rough week. Mitch Moss will unfollow you.
Yeah, he will.
I mean, a lot of the whining and dining will be over with.
I'll explain it. I intimidated myself.
Yes.
With the amount that I wrote up last year. I wrote 3 paragraphs last year.
Beautiful.
And I realized that I shouldn't have done that.
It was a piece of art.
It's going to be hard to follow that up.
Yeah.
But I got it.
No, now you're too good for it. Now you got to just I don't know. Now you're the Brandon Lang when he just whipped up the 10 sheet when he went 0 for 11. You know,
all he does is lift weights and pick winners.
You saying I'm going to get pissed on in the park? That according to Brandon Lang, that part wasn't true.
Oh man, you really have to. If you're not on the Patreon, the stories episode, CJ did a great job moderating, helping chime in, guiding the conversation. Just some good spots.
I don't think we've said this in front of CJ, but the feedback of you being the moderator was very positive.
Well, I've realized that's kind of becoming my role here, and each week here in the prop show, and I realized this is what makes your show great. How
a little back and forth,
a little back and forth. How you both try to undercut each other with fake plays, and you want each other to fail. So I mean, that's
that's not true.
I mean, not to fail, but
I would love for the Eagles to win the Super Bowl.
Not exactly that. I'm talking about the actual picks. You know, the fake narratives, all that. Like, you know, trying to steer each other in the wrong direction. Dubious and absolutely, malfeasious activity.
All, content. People
iron
like
sharpens iron, CJ.
Oh wow!
And my ladder, it's built
steel, not iron.
It's built of pure iron. You cannot loosen this ladder. It's as sturdy as they come. And of course, a little dexterity. Reminded me of that drop. Jalen Hurts touchdown ladder. What? Why not? What are we doing here, folks? Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown is -110.
That's free money.
Jalen Hurts 2 touchdowns. I did find a 625 out there. I'm going to be playing it probably in the high 5s. And then Jalen Hurts 3 touchdowns, 29-1. Maybe there's a 30 kicking around here, but Jalen Hurts has had He's had 2 separate playoff games. One was the last time they played the Chiefs, where he had 3 touchdowns, and the last game he just played, he had 3 touchdowns. He's had in the regular season, he had 3 touchdown games. He's had like 10 plus 2 touchdown games, and he's been on an incredible anytime touchdown heater. Even with Saquon Barkley, you would think maybe steal some touchdowns away from Jalen Hurts. It doesn't seem to slow him down. This guy gets into the end zone. They run the design draw inside the 10. Obviously, if it gets close, they're going to do a brotherly shove and get him into the end zone. I just really, if you know, and maybe the Eagles something. I'm just trying to imagine a scenario where Hurts doesn't get into the end zone. He's a dog. He's gonna get in. Give me Jalen Hurts.
Dog.
CJ, are you on the Jalen Hurts anytime?
Better bet. Anytime touchdown or MVP.
Well, MVP is a better price.
Right. Anytime's happening no matter what.
Yeah. And I think even if you're on the Chiefs, you can talk yourself into Hurts anytime.
Of course, that was probably the first play I hit as soon as the market opened up, because I'm like, it's going to go up. I think I got it at 110 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
and,
it was. I think minus 105 was the best price I've seen all week. Obviously, anything up to like even minus 120, I'm fine with it.
I like Jalen Hurts as well. I was going to look at his ladder, maybe for a different show. Who knows what goes on there? I mean,
tune into the Beeson show
we got
tomorrow night.
A lot of ladder commitments.
And just like Radio Row, I'm getting stretched out thin. My ladders are being stretched out. There's extensions for my ladders.
Dear God.
The laddie daddy is wanted come Super Bowl weekend. To prop up on their castle, if you will, go up to their window and peep in.
Storm it.
Right, storm the castle with the laddie daddy. But since Kramer's here. And we're in person in studio, and it was nice of you to do the Saquon Barkley. I know your narrative has been the genius of Spags is going to shut down Saquon Barkley, and it's going to, and that's what everyone is. It's just like he's just going to figure out a way with his run blitzes and his zone blitz. What they do. No one has yet this year, except for maybe the Steelers, stop Saquon Barkley all year. And now when they tell us to embrace the greatness, when Nate Burleson tells us that after the referees move the ball back a yard, like that's the greatness we're supposed to embrace. There's greatness happening this year that we can embrace. And it's this man, Saquon Barkley.
Let's go.
Not just on his birthday, because he's not a 22-year-old girl. This is a man who's on a mission this year who does greatness every single week. 3 of the last 5 games, he's had 150 yards.
It's crazy.
And one of them he didn't was last week. We got pulled for the entire fourth quarter. He's playing the entire Super Bowl.
Yes.
That's what's happening. This Saquon Barkley rushing ladder on AstroTurf. And let me tell you something. And he gets 1,200 of his 2,000 yards in the second half. Did you know Saquon said, I think Garrett Dickerson might even told me he didn't know where he goes. He intentionally doesn't look for the hole in the first half that's there because he doesn't want to break it then, because he wants to wait till the second half till the defenders are worn down a little bit. And so that way he can easily pop it easier for a touchdown. That's why you see them more in the second half. Like he'll see a hole and say, you know what, I'm just going to go right into the pile.
And there is something with the Eagles offensive line. And looks like the O-line should be completely healthy going into the Super Bowl, where they do wear you down up front. And then he breaks these. It's crazy, but he's iced a number of games this season with like 50-yard runs. Yeah. And he should have iced the Rams game in the playoff. He iced the regular season Rams game, breaking it. I mean, look at how fast he was on that turf.
Incredible. And was Spags not worried about Joe Mixon when he was gashing him all day, and they should have always had a chance to win that game? Or James Cook last week, who only had 12 carries but 84 yards. If they would have gave him the ball, they would have, we'd be playing the Bills this weekend. I'll just say that.
Oh boy.
Point is, and I don't, you know what they do against the 11 formation. I don't have to break that any of those, because that's not my edge.
Great stats
for the Spaces crew. That's not my edge. My edge is the clipboard. All right, I bring the paper and passion. Saquon ladder. Let's just go start right off at 150 yards. That's plus 334.
That is a great start to a ladder.
Something he's done 3 out of 5 games.
3 of the last 5 games. Would have been 4 if he played the fourth quarter.
Yeah, if they let him play, he could have got.
I mean, he's playing the Super Bowl. 160 plus 481, 170 plus 680, 180 yards plus 910, 190 plus 1320, and if he gets 200 yards, which he did 2 weeks ago or 2 games ago, I should say, plus 1500. 1380. For a man who can break off a couple 70-yard runners, which we watched live here in SoFi Stadium.
I was gonna say you can. I know some places are offering. Will he break the yardage record? Which is,
well, the bet is, will anyone break the Timmy Smith record?
Yeah,
which is 205 yards, and it's less odds than Saquon getting 200. It's like 13-1. So,
all right. So then play Saquon.
Yeah, right.
Who else would even get?
You don't think Kareem Hunt's gonna run for 205 yards?
I mean, if Kareem Hunt does rush for 205 yards, actually, I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I don't
be honest with you.
That's an interesting game script if Kareem Hunt goes off.
Did you look at the rushing yards leader market?
Oh, I saw Barkley's like minus 800.
Kareem Hunt's plus 850. He's one of the starting running backs.
So I'm going to say it's going to be dumb if Saquon does what Saquon does again, which he's done every week. And you're like, why didn't I just play this?
Yeah.
Why didn't I just not play Saquon Barkley? He is the greatest player on the field that day. All year, this is it. He is the story. He is the greatest. We're embracing Nate Burleson.
So, are we? I guess the Barkley MVP price isn't interesting at all compared to that.
No,
that's
I don't care.
No.
He's still not my MVP choice.
But it also makes me think.
I got it for 200 yards. Still not an MVP.
But it also makes me think.
That's how many points we're putting up.
Why would you not bet these types of bets instead of MVP?
Right, 100%.
Because even you said 150
yards is plus 334.
Yeah. How does he now? Maybe it's the touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
He got a couple touchdowns on 120 or so, I guess.
And going back to your Jalen Hurts, Sean, Jalen Hurts with Eagles money. Jalen Hurts anytime with Eagles money line.
Oh yeah,
pays less than 2-1. So if they win and he has an anytime touchdown, the likelihood that he's the MVP, you might as well just jump up to that +3, whatever.
Yeah, and just for record, all these picks I've given out all week also parlay them with the money line. So officially on
all 59,
as long as they let you. Yes. I mean, I tried to parlay Big Dom has on-field incident with
Eagles money line.
Eagles money line. They wouldn't let me do it. Too sharp. And the Taylor Swift heart hands thing, they wouldn't let me parlay that. So any place that lets you parlay these with Eagles money line, official play.
Okay, you heard it.
I have an edge.
You heard
the edges believing in the Philadelphia fucking Eagles to get this Super Bowl in. Kramer, what do you got for your Chiefs ladder?
Yeah, there's got to be an edge joke in there.
I was going to suggest, can we keep it open for a week 1 parlay too? I mean, since we're opening up at the link on Thursday night,
Well, I mean, I was hearing other gambling shows saying they didn't recommend doing a same game teaser.
Okay.
Basically teasing up the Eagles from 1.5 to 7.5.
Right.
And then the host, who's a very math-based gentleman, suggested don't include the total because the alt totals are better priced. But he said some books will offer an open teaser if you want to tease Eagles up to 7.5 and maybe leave it open for some week 1 preseason.
That sounds great.
Open teasers are one of.
That's really.
I mean, open teasers are fun, but I'm not going to wait the entire NFL.
That sounds like a fun Super Bowl.
What do you mean? You build up all this equity, now all of a sudden you're getting a 6-point move on a -110 for yourself.
Yeah, it's great.
Who'd you bet on the Super Bowl? I got Philly plus 7.5 with it. My job's done. Now I'll see you guys in September, and I'll tell you if I won or not.
Yeah, brick by brick.
I'm going back to this. We make fun of shows all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If you are hosting a sports gambling show, which
we are,
yes, we are. Okay, I'll give you a pass if you host a sports specific show that doesn't cover football. But if you're covering football, NFL football from a gambling perspective, and you do not give out a Super Bowl pick, cancel your fucking feed. How can you not give out a goddamn motherfucking pick for the motherfucking Super Bowl and call yourself a sports gambling podcast? Kramer and I own the trademark to the sports gambling podcast because in 2011 we picked every NFL game against the spread. Did we ever miss the Super Bowl because the line was too sharp? No, because we're not cowards. Pick the game, you cowards. It's an efficient line. Tell us who you like. No leaning, just pick the damn game.
Wow. That's amazing.
I mean,
Somebody wasted some of their time, I think.
No, I listen to other stuff. I just love
My
hearing
God.
people talk about gambling, and when people are not picking the Super Bowl, it's insane.
Well, it's hilarious to do it for the Super Bowl and
Yes.
act like you're smart. And
Well, it's
listen,
very
there's no
sharp,
wedge, there's no sharp. They're all sharp. They're lines, but it's a Super Bowl pick. There's puppies on the news making Super Bowl picks. There's alligators.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's making a Super Bowl pick.
It's a great point.
a zebra's going
Yeah.
into the Eagles feed
Right.
bag at the San Diego Zoo. Oh, my dog shit over on this
Yeah.
line. He likes the Chiefs. I mean, come on. We got goddamn octopuses picking games. All right, Kramer.
I also have make a pick, you cowards, trademarked. By the
Yes.
way, well, you guys are sports.
Make a
So we're canceling. We should that. We should send our legal team with our trademark after people only with the criteria. Did you not
Yes.
make a pick on the Super Bowl?
You cannot use our trademark sports
Well,
gambling podcast.
And you see the way people do it. They put it in the title because they're trying to
Yeah.
overload. with that.
Trying to steal our SEO.
And then they're not going to make a pick. They're trying to get all these ears on their show just to say nothing.
Of course.
All right. So I was very torn here. I thought I was going to be coming in with a Kareem Hunt receiving yards ladder. I'm not. I'm not doing it. I at the end of the day, I told myself it was too cute, even though 40 yards was 1560. My God. But I am not doing it yet. It could be an irrational bet that I make Sunday morning.
What are the did you look at the P Ryan stuff, Ryan?
P Ryan is 40 yards for him is 16-1. So very similar.
Yeah,
I don't think they use Hunt in the
as I say,
receiving
he
end.
just doesn't like
that-
throwing the ball to Hunt.
I understand that. That's why I like the play. I've explained this to Sean 4 separate times. And
Yes.
every time he's like, I don't think they're gonna use Hunt as much in the. Yeah, that's the angles. But I just like Juju and Noah Gray too much. And so when it came down to a specific one for the sheet, and you'll understand more why I went Noah Gray over Juju later, but I just think Noah Gray has the opportunity to have higher ADOT stuff. I think he's going to get some more of the downfield targets. You have the speed of Xavier Worthy. You have Kelsey to be distracted by. I like the idea that Noah Gray hits him with some seam stuff. And so 13, his number's 12.5, which Sean, that's one of the early in pocket plays. I keep showing you, but I'm getting all these DMs now, people that want to see what's in my pocket. They just
All right.
DM, they say, I want to see what's in your pocket.
What's in
man."
your pocket? Break out
25 yards plus 275. We get 40 or more, Sean. It's 7-1. My God.
Okay.
50 yards for Noah Gray. 50 yards or more is plus 1250. Holy shit. Shop this one around. The circa the circa is actually much worse than this.
Really?
So I won't have a paper ticket on this
Okay.
one. But yeah, we're going. I told you, Sean, that I had a. I don't want to say I was dreaming, but I was dozing off on the couch, and I woke up and had a moment where I felt like I just watched a Noah Gray, 20-something yard catch for a touchdown. So Noah Gray ladder, lock it up.
Yeah, I guess I could see Noah Gray, maybe Juju.
You gonna tell me how he doesn't get that many targets?
Oh, I mean, well, how many targets has he's gotten so far in the playoffs, right?
He's had a handful, but he's again. This is another zig play.
Yeah. Okay. And why the
Because I
love
think-
with Noah Gray?
Because I think you attack the part of the field that Noah Gray and Juju are going to be operating in,
Okay.
which is I think the not Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelsey part.
No,
of the
yeah,
field.
I'm with you. I like the unders on
or Hollywood, to be honest with you.
on the outside receivers, and I think they'll do a okay job on Kelsey. The ancillary guys, Juju, Noah Gray, D Hop, those are the guys I think could do okay
I don't
yardage
think
wise.
D
But I
Hop's
think
going to play much. I think D Hop might have had one of his crazy outbursts at some point.
really,
Just look at his snap counts. It's completely gone down.
yeah.
It's true.
He had a run where he was like throwing them the contested stuff, and then
He was if you look at red zone targets, he's right near him and Noah Gray are basically right after Worthy and Kelsey.
Yeah.
It's it's those guys. But D-Hop did it all over this like short stretch, kind of in the middle of the season, and then he's been phased out. So I don't know if he did something or he crossed Jackson Mahomes, but he just doesn't seem to be as involved. So yeah, I'm heavily invested in Juju and Noah Gray in this game.
Yeah,
if Noah Gray and Juju have good games, I'm going to be fully aroused.
You're right. Just backing it up with the snap count. He only had 12 snaps
he's not
in the conference championship game. That was his lowest total all season. Even his first game, they got 23, and then he was pretty much.
How's that compared to Noah Gray or
50, 60%? Noah Gray. Yeah, Noah Gray's. He's had a pretty 50 to 50-ish.
Him and Juju are out there like 50 to 60% of the time, right?
Juju seems like the guy that's gotten the boost.
Yeah,
he went from like 40 to 60% almost.
Yeah, so both those guys are out there. That's how you hit them.
Yeah.
My Chiefs ladder. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs to allow 5 or more sacks at plus 270. Give me the Chiefs to allow 6 or more sacks at plus 650, and give me the Chiefs to allow 7 sacks. I could see it.
Yeah,
that's how you take down Patty Mahomes.
Love it.
17-1. And of course,
Showtime Mahomes.
They may have it worded differently in the sports book, but that's what the bet is. So.
Okay. Well,
they may have worded it as Eagles to record these number of sacks, but technically Ryan made us give out a Chiefs ladder, so there is my Chiefs ladder.
What do you mean technically?
You said we need a Chiefs ladder.
Oh, you don't like the fans?
I do. I love
the fans. Wanted a ladder from each team,
and I gave.
It sounds like you're not happy with the fans.
What do you mean?
Well, making you give out a Chiefs ladder.
No, I happily oblige giving out a sweet Chiefs ladder. CJ, what is your Chiefs ladder?
Well, I will. I know how to appease this relationship, and I'll make Dad happy here. And I agree with Gray and Juju. And when I'm looking at ladders, these are obviously the kind of guys I look for with very low numbers coming up. They could have a very high target rate. You went with I couldn't remember because you talked about both of them for so long. Which one did you go with there? You went with Gray yards.
Noah Gray.
Noah touch of Gray.
Noah Gray. Now I believe both of them, of course, will be over the middle. A lot of, and Fangio keeps things underneath. I don't think a lot of them will break for yards. So I'm looking at receptions actually. For either one of them looks great, but Juju's receptions, I know it's 1.5. I think is regular. So if you go right to 3 catches for Juju, that's plus 234 there on DraftKings. And I see him getting a lot of in the slots. And I don't want to hit the button there.
The slot. How's the slot?
I like this play.
4 catches plus 640, and this ladder tops off all the way up to this repair the holes in the Superdome that happens on the flyover, and of course Katrina. Don't check on who's. Well, I was going to make a Catholic Church Saints joke, but we don't have to do that.
Yeah, don't check the wiring of the listening devices up there. 5
catches for Juju Smith, 5 receptions for a game where Mahomes is. What is his attempts at 38 or something like that?
Yeah.
Like he's going to supposedly he's going to have a lot of short to medium range game plan. 5 catches plus 1680 for Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, obviously I'm not going to be playing a ton of positive Chiefs stuff, but I totally see the world where he gets and he randomly had a really good game when they played in New Orleans there earlier in the season. I don't know if something to speed turf.
And he runs those rub routes too, right?
Yeah.
A lot will cross over the middle, and I can see him with like the 3-yard hitch and goes and stuff like that, like where the yards might not pile up there, but I mean he's going to rack up a couple catches early on.
So I'm going to jump ahead to give out one of my leaders, but Juju to lead in receptions is 35-1.
Wow.
What do you think the leader in the Super is 6 enough potentially
to lead in the game in receptions? Yeah, I mean I believe 6 and 7 can do it.
Probably you might dead heat it, but I still think that's pretty good.
Wow. Yeah, that's doable.
Okay.
He could get a lot of easy stuff.
And I didn't see what the circus price on this is. I'm hoping it's a little steeper because their Juju stuff is priced nicely.
Okay.
All right, so we got some ladders going. Why don't we do first touchdowns? Kramer, you want to start off? What are your first touchdown plays?
All right, so
the big game.
The card was the first people that were entered into the card. Like I said, I've been having this vision. Noah Gray, 20 yards again. This is essentially what the formation is going to look like. You're going to have Kelsey, or I'm sorry, you're going to have Xavier Worthy out wide up top, or Hollywood Brown, Noah Gray inside of that, Kelsey to the other side of the formation, with Juju or Xavier Worthy, another receiver, and Noah Gray is just going to run this seam pattern, and he's going to have a safety on him. But the throw is going to be back shouldery. He's going to launch up the classic back shoulder catch, land on his back. The defensive player is going to try to rip the ball, and he's going to come up and have it. Touchdown.
Wow.
I've already seen it. It's about 20 yards.
Can I just say real quick?
Yeah.
I think I was out in the office when you had this Noah Gray dream. We saw you on the couch. We took a picture napping, and we now know why Garth refuses to come back into studio during the thing. I mean, things got active. I'll just say that.
Was I aroused? Was Garth?
Ryan was really excited.
Garth was surfing.
Garth caught some shrapnel. There's a lot of things going on the couch.
So Noah Gray, 30.
There's a pillow we threw away immediately.
Noah Gray, 35-1.
Yes,
was the first thing that entered the card, and then as I was doing the rest of the prep for props, it was very clear to me Juju was going to need to be a play, and he's 33-1. So the Chiefs side of the card completely done. And as you know, I chopped the unit up 4 ways. And then on the Eagles side, I think, in spite of being told no repeatedly, Grant Calcaterra was always going to make my card. He, Sean, he's 120-1 at the Circa. I can't wait to get that ticket.
Yeah.
And then this was more of a group think. Sean did the legwork on the research with the first reception. That's when we first started poking around the Jahan Dotson, then a whole bunch of other good points about maybe some of the formations they'll run to deal with Spags' defense. Also, Jahan Dotson just caught a first touchdown. So fact that he's still 90-1, again, pay for ticket loading out of the Circa.
It's a good call.
Yeah, I'm all over.
I will say, Dotson replaced what I thought was going to be Dallas Goedert in the beginning.
Yeah, and Goddard certainly isn't a bad play. I do like his anytime. Maybe I will just toss on a first, but his first is kind of low considering.
My initial thought was I was going to play 4 tight ends, but Juju and Jahan Dotson replaced Goddard and Travis.
I'm seeing Goddard at 19. Is that what you?
Oh, okay, nice. Well, maybe I'll talk. Maybe
Goddard. I looked at. I know Circa has something like 15-50, not very good. I think one of the books has even a 20-1. In fact, I can look this up.
All right. If CJ's got a 19-1,
I'm seeing DraftKings right now. 19.
Oh, okay. DraftKings promo code SGP.
This isn't just a CJ book.
Yeah.
I
making up numbers over
all
here.
the numbers I didn't dive too deep, but yeah, I will take Goddard because I like his.
Deli Lama's got 19. You got 19.
Oh wait, hold on. We may have a 20-1 out there. Let's see.
Okay.
Who needs a 19?
Oh, if we get a 20-1, I'm in.
Let's see.
And I'm also Dallas Goedert. We'll call it 19-1. Jahan Dotson 90-1. Kramer nailed it, but again, Dotson's out there for like 60% of the snaps. They'll probably even run more 11 personnel than they usually do, and he's not a massive target guy, but he caught the first touchdown in that Packers game, so I would not be surprised if Dotson at 90-1, and then Kenneth Gainwell. It sounds like he is gonna go. This would be, if he's not active, I'm going to switch it towards Shipley, depending. Hopefully we get some injury clarity between now and next couple of days.
I saw a thing that the Eagles run the Eagles have run the most jet motion, or the Eagles have the lowest percentage of handing to the jet motion.
Jet sweep?
The jet motion. Well, it's not a sweep because you're not handing the ball off, but the motion that comes across the formation that they often run in 11 personnel. So something to look for. It made me think about the rushing attempt prop because I've heard
Goddard has randomly it last playoff game. He got carries in the rushing game, which we had never done before. Now, is that something they're doing just to put it on tape, or is it something they're actually going to be using? I don't have
I certainly think running especially when you're a power running team, running your tight end as the sweep or the jet motion.
Yeah.
And either, having that anyway, as we've seen before, Sean, Bet365 with a nice 20-1 Also, they have your exact score. Someone reached out.
Oh,
I tagged you in it, but yeah, someone reached out saying they found your exact score.
oh hell yeah!
Over at Bet365.
All right,
So,
I get some Bet365 beards going. Yeah, Kenneth Gainwell, he's 95-1. Now, obviously, if he ends up being scratched, I'll just slide in Will Shipley, whoever is the backup running back. Because
I can't wait to bet my Gainwell and Shipley MVP tickets.
yeah, they're not winning MVP, but they could hit the first touchdown at 95-1. And Shipley's intriguing because I think he's on kick returns as well. So I'll just stick with Gainwell 95-1, Goddard 19-1, and Jahan Dotson 90-1. CJ, what do you got for first touchdown?
Well, I have a lot of those. I had Gainwell. I had Gray, of course. You have to go with Gray. Gray, I mean, it's just been.
Well, maybe you had the dream with me.
I did not have the dream with you, but we've been doing a season with Gray. I mean, it's been a year of Gray, and then he kind of went out on us, and I believe he's back. And Dotson kind of reminds me of when De'Ami Brown was priced like this. When not that Dotson has any chance of taking over Devontae as a number 2.
Yeah,
but he was getting crazily priced for a guy who's on the field for the number 3 speed runner. Like he was getting like 50, 60-1, and it's like insane.
He's priced in the same thing for guys who don't get targets, guys who aren't running routes, guys who aren't on the field.
Johnny Wilsons of the world.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
Ania
insane.
Smith, like Carson Steele. As much as I love Carson Steele,
it does strike me that they've made a mistake here.
Yeah, the Dotson stuff's crazy.
So I'll just add on. I will put DeAndre Hopkins in there. I believe when you're looking for a touchdown score, I don't see him having a big game. I know his total is 11.5. I do think he might clear that, but I think Mahomes will be relying upon in the end zone because those receivers just aren't, those kind of the outside receivers. I don't see happening for the first touchdowns or anything unless they're from deep out. But from inside in 10-yard line, I can see Hopkins. So I'll plus him in there. And of course, what am I not going to play both defenses?
Oh, love it!
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Let's go.
30 and 35-1.
Eagles defensive first touchdown would just be awesome.
Come on. CJ Gardner-Johnson did it versus the Cowboys. They opened up the game just a couple weeks ago. The one we won the division. And then, I mean, it's the way this defense is flying. I mean,
they've been great at creating turnovers.
Yeah,
again, why I think the small sprinkle on the MVPs in the secondary for the Eagles, especially the safeties. I am going to be playing Cooper DeJean, Reed Blankenship, and CJGJ. All like $10-20 a ticket, maybe $50 a ticket, but they're like 400, 500-1. So they get 2 interceptions, or if they have a defensive touchdown, look out, baby. And Kramer, you know how I'm paying for that? I'm paying for that with my Edge Boost rewards. That's right. SGPN, we've partnered up with Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for bettors. Imagine getting free money, aka rewards, just for depositing on sportsbook sites, apps, DFS, sweepstakes, at casinos, in person, wherever they take a Visa debit card. And it's a gambling establishment. You're good to go. You can get up to $750 cash back each month. The card is free. It's FDIC insured. There's no credit check. Do yourself and do us a favor. Always appreciate this. And again, you get the instant tier 2 status, the better cashback rewards when you use our promo code SGPN. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN, edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Underdog. Big game is coming. Travis Kelce, they got the free pick there. They also have the no sweat token is live, and they have a ton of boosts and bonuses. They're always hooking you up, and obviously you get the instant deposit match for first time customers. Promo code SGPN, get up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Kramer, CJ, we've been CJ during the week we've been adding together a Underdog entry. So far, here's what we got: Patrick Mahomes higher 6.5 rushing attempts, Devonta Smith higher 50.5 receiving yards, Travis Kelce lower 62.5 receiving yards, Jahan Dotson higher 0.5 reception. And we would love to add one more here from the Laddie Daddy himself.
Yes.
Wow.
What do you got cooking up, CJ?
You want me to go to personal stash here? Is that what we're talking about?
Anything you want.
Now,
anything you want.
This is an Underdog play?
Yep.
All right.
Complete freestyle. I'm impressed with the catalog of Underdog.
All right. Let me see if anything comes out there. Now you already have
We have Mahomes rushing.
Tell me the specials again, sir. I was staring at this. I was staring at this menu, and I was not listening to a word you said because everything looks delicious.
Yeah.
What are some of the specials you have again today? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, okay. I thought Ryan was going to read it.
Read the specials.
Patrick Mahomes, higher 6.5 rush attempts. Devontae Smith, higher 50.5 receiving yards. Kelsey, lower 62.5 receiving yards. Jahan Dotson, higher a half reception.
All right. Well,
pretty balanced, you know.
Pretty balanced. You're going to go Devontae Smith, and I teased this earlier. I think this is a really low number. I don't care what the game script is. I think is still in play. Jalen Hurts higher than 213.5 passing yards.
Let's go.
I'm fine with that. That's how they. That's yeah.
If they're playing from behind, even if they're playing from ahead, like you're saying, the way they're going to have to, force someone other than Barkley to play, I mean, which they will. I understand at times, but Barkley's still going to get his.
Yep.
I like it in the dome. Hurts plays well in the dome. Hurts plays well in these big games.
Yeah.
He is not going to be unfathom. 213.5, very achievable number.
Love it. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. Kramer, let's talk about some, there's a bunch of interesting stuff in the leader market, DraftKings Sportsbook, promo code SGP. What is jumping out at you as intriguing leader plays?
Sorry, I was adding a 60% boost to my
Yes, I'm also distracted by the 60% boost, and I may be using my Edge Boost card to re-add here so I can maximize the amount.
It's gonna be a real mess after the show. All right, so I'll start with one that kind of it ties into what we were just talking about with Jalen Hurts. But for Jalen Hurts to have the most pass attempts in the game is plus 450. Now, probably not something that you guys would want from which team wins the game, but I think this is very likely in the games that the Chiefs win, that it's lower scoring, and that the Chiefs in the versions where the Chiefs are ahead by like the 2 scores, so 10 points. Jalen Hurts, then in theory, the offense opens up and he starts chucking. Mahomes wouldn't be. Why is this plus 450? The alts aren't that crazy. And so Jalen Hurts to have more pass attempts than Patrick Mahomes plus 450 stood out to me as being incorrectly priced.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I see as a hater, Ryan, how you could be attracted to that, but
if you like,
the pricing's probably correct, or the pricing's probably incorrect. And also the thing that's interesting is Jalen Hurts is seen as this guy who, you can't throw, blah, 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 and whatever. He's had his ups and downs, but you look at the way the Chiefs have won this season. It's kind of similar to the way the Eagles have won. They've played good defense, limited the turnovers. Mahomes has had his worst season statistically in the passing game. Right?
Interesting.
I'm just saying, if you're looking at like passing yards, passing attempts, I think it's way closer than people have in their mind.
Yeah.
Sure, but I don't think it's due to quality. I think it's due to game flow. I'm not going to let you try to make some. The other, like, my eyes watch Mahomes pass the ball though.
Okay, yeah,
like, that's where a lot of the narrative comes from Hurts.
He's
is
better
that when you
at
watch
throwing
Hurts
the
pass the ball, it looks like he's carrying a large weight and slowly heaving it down the field.
Okay,
that's why the deep ball is one of his better balls.
Wait, because it's super heavy.
Because the slow release doesn't affect.
It's a waterlogged.
All right. I don't know about your analysis there.
He's a very strong man. Okay. Maybe too strong.
All right. Now you're cooking. For me, going back to our playoff leader market, you can hop into the playoff leader market. I'm going chalk here. Give me Dallas Goedert to lead the NFL in playoff receiving yards. Now, this is interesting because De'Ami Brown is the leader right now at 229.
Imagine having that ticket right now.
But Dallas Goedert, he's only 41 yards behind De'Ami Brown.
Wow.
So now Travis Kelce has 136. So he would have to make up, he would have to make up 52 on Ertz to Ertz lead it. So, or to to beat. Sorry, not Ertz. They're right next to each other to beat Goddard. So
still love it.
I think, I Goddard at -135 is a smash play for me.
Smash.
He's getting 41 receiving yards, and I don't think Kelsey's going to beat him by 52. And the rest of the Chiefs, I don't think really have a shot. I mean, Xavier Worthy's he's 55 behind Goddard. I just don't see it, or 58 behind. So I'm in. CJ, what are you doing?
Especially since that line is 8.5 head to head.
Yeah,
Goddard and Kelsey.
Yeah, so 50 or whatever. It's way too high.
All right, I have a fun one for you guys.
Let's hear it.
Has a little golf theme to it, if you will.
I mean, little crossover prop.
Yeah, well, it's not a crossover, but it's inspired by golf. Like last weekend, I had Russell Henley, who was the first round leader, but I had him to win outright, and I did not play him first round leader, and I was tilted all weekend, and he fell off the damn leaderboard. He didn't even finish top 10, didn't finish top 20, whatever. Point is that in golf, when you're looking for these long shots, you want a guy first round leader makes sense because it's a lot different than to play 4 consecutive days to win a golf tournament. Much more hard, but you get the same prices. To lead this game in reception yards, it's a lot to ask. A lot of times people start off early and they have a nice little hot start, but to sustain and then they die off, then you're like, where'd they go from there? The Kansas City Chiefs especially, Mahomes likes to hit that thing in the middle a lot. He hit Hollywood Brown a lot. I can see him hit Juju Smith a lot. First quarter receiving yard leader.
Yes.
Juju is 17-1.
Really?
To lead the first quarter.
Yeah, I saw these, and it's like I can't just keep giving the same shit out. But him and Noah Gray are both 17-1, and that vision I had, 20-yard first touchdown, that could be enough.
Right, that can be enough. You get in there and get out of there.
And then this is where again,
I even like Hollywood Brown at 9-1 there, by the way.
Where it gets interesting, shopping the same thing. Because so, do you like first quarter receiving yard leader, or do you play first to 20?
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm just, it's interesting the pricing between the two.
I like first quarter leader.
I like this first quarter leader.
Yeah, I like first quarter leader much better. Because anything could happen on the first to 20, and then you're done. And then Sam Perrine could bust a screen, or whatever. I kind of like Kelsey, and I know you like Devontae. I like Devontae too, but Kelsey early on there. But then it's just peppering. Like, what is this going to be a Juju game? You can just see it, and next thing you know, it's not. But then he's done it in the second half. But he gets in the clubhouse, that first quarter leader, 17-1.
So it's funny because I must have missed first quarter because the Noah Gray first half is what I threw out there. But so all right, if you compare the price, so for Noah Gray to lead the first half is 15-1. The game is 35-1, but the first quarter is 17-1.
Exactly.
There's more variance as you get closer in the game.
Well, I guess you're guaranteed the ball with the first half. First quarter,
I'm switching. You inspired me. I'm switching my pick to the first quarter market. Yes. I like playing. It's completely right. The variance is much better in the first quarter. For the fact that Noah Gray's price for the first half is cheaper than the full game is, or the first quarter is crazy. I love this angle, and I'm probably going to play your Juju one as well.
Yeah,
I'm going to have so much. If Juju and Noah Gray have a combined 0 catches, it's gonna be a bad Super Bowl for me.
And if this pops up on a VSiN show for a one-hit wonder, I don't even need credit. We're all Team Kramer for this one. I'm just saying.
That is a good one.
I will go in the first quarter market. I'm going to toss in because we're talking about it. Jalen Hurts, most passing yards in the first quarter. Okay. That's plus 150.
Wow.
Again, them starting with the ball, going on a little bit of a drive. Sure. You could win this with like 18 yards.
Yeah, of course.
We like the game to start slow anyway. So I think.
And Eagles defense has a 3 and out, whatever it is.
Yeah, the stuff that's close to a coin toss and you're getting plus 150, I think it's way closer to even because part of the randomness is who gets the ball first. Obviously, they would be a big favorite. We don't know that. You're getting plus odds on stuff that should be closer to even. So I always love finding those, and I think that's I leaning into the early variance is always the way to go because the more time you have, the more it's like a 7-game series. The longer the series, the better the favorite has a chance to get home. In a single game in the first quarter, that's where you can get a little wonky there. Get some long shots. So Kramer, you're doing first quarter receiving yards, Noah Gray leader.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm probably gonna have in the private stock. We'll have Juju will be in there too because
Yeah, you got a little classic
I don't know
Juju.
I don't know what you call it, but I'm just gonna play like Juju and Noah Gray. If you can bet it, I'm gonna be on it.
Noah Juju.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
CJ, what's another leader?
Noah Smith-Seister.
What's another leader-ish type bet you like?
A leader-ish type bet,
Yep.
for sure. I looked at some of those playoff leaders. They were interesting. They're finely priced. I know.
Yeah.
Jaden I didn't realize how far ahead Jaden Daniels is for passing.
It's crazy.
I mean, Hurts needs 317 and Mahomes needs 400.
It's not. It's one of those where it's. I mean, that would be a sick Super Bowl if they get there.
Either way, yeah.
Probably can find some crazier prices.
Mm-hmm. I do like the Triple Crown, as it's called on DraftKings.
Yeah, that was a fun market.
Yeah. The pass yards, receiving yards, rush yards. Now, if you want to be reasonable with it during like my New Year's resolution of reasonable ladders and reasonable parlays, one, you can't get off Barkley as rushing. I mean, that's just going to happen. So you're really looking for a two-manner. You know what I mean? I'm suffice with Mahomes is going to outthrow Jalen Hurts just because of sheer volume.
Yeah.
So now you just need to find that receiver.
Who's the fun receiver?
Absolutely. You find a receiver.
It is a fun year for this.
All right. Absolutely. So you got the bookends locked in. You know, they're cementing this. Now we don't want anything wobbly in the middle. That's what you got to go for. Right?
The try-backs.
Now, if this was a first quarter, this is a full game / full first quarter.
Yeah, why don't they have first quarter rushing,
crowns.
receiving?
That'd be amazing.
Pussies.
Parlay.
Yes. Devontae Smith interested me at 12-1.
Yeah.
That's what that comes in at. Got it at 18-1, or Godair, as he's called down in the Bayou. Definitely this week in the French Quarter.
Let's go there.
Yeah, definitely in the French Quarter this week. I'm correct with the pronunciation.
With some water boy pronunciation.
Cajun Man. What was that? Was that Sandler's character, Cajun Man?
He did do Cajun Man, but also his water boy character I feel like was pretty close to Cajun Guy.
Well, I'm sure
or whatever.
It came from Cajun Guy, yeah. Go there.
Go there. Mama says the alligators are ornery because they got so many teeth and no toothbrushes.
So that's as far as I want to reach it.
Taylor. LT cameo was awesome.
AJ Brown is one I like. That's plus 550 though. It's kind of chalky.
Yeah.
So that's not really one that's fun. But I'll throw Dallas in there at 16-1. I said 18-1. That's with Hurts doing it, 18-1. Mahomes, go there. Saquon, 16-1.
Yeah, I looked at that market. I was close. I don't know. I couldn't quite get to the formula. The obviously the Super Eagles chalky of Hurts, Barkley, and Devontae. The price wasn't that good, so I just threw in, and I'll give these both out, but Devontae to lead the game in yards and lead the game in receptions, 6-1 for the yards, 7-1 for receptions. I keep thinking he's gonna have a really big game. Maybe not touchdown. I don't know why, but
so does the entire internet now. Now that you put that out there.
Oh yeah,
apparently.
no,
I saw Dan Orlovsky tweet about it today.
Yes,
for crying
everyone's
out loud.
everyone's hopping on the Devontae bandwagon. Maybe I single-handedly broke the Devontae market, but I'm still on him. So I like his reception yards leader and his the yards and the receptions itself. So Kramer, what do you got kicking over there?
Did I already give out all four? Do I have one? No, I have. So I made a late swap because I originally was going to play the first half with this market, which was 30-1 compared to 10-1, but the 10-1 is a much more reasonable shot here. Mahomes most rushing yards first quarter, long drive. He's doing his scampering, not a ton of action either way. 30-1, by the way, for the first half. I do think he's going to run a lot. I think it's inevitable. I think the defense is going to let him.
Sorry, I'm late. What's Mahomes up to? He's just up to his scampering again.
Yep.
Scampering left and
He's
right.
a scamper. 10-1 Mahomes most first quarter rushing.
Doing a Super Bowl scampering.
CJ, what about you? I only got, let's see, I got one left, so I feel like I'm ahead of you. What are some more leadery type bets you like?
Leaderies. Well, let's do a first half leader since we're in the market. Even though I like how I got talked out of it and into it.
Well, yeah, I got in and out.
Right, 100%. That I like. the rushing, not the rushing yards, it was the receiving yards there again. That I like more of a Hollywood Brown kind of type situation because I think these are the guys that just want to establish early on, and I think Hollywood Brown, along with Devontae, I like Devontae, but these numbers just aren't good enough.
Yeah,
that's what I like about these Chiefs receivers. They all have crazy numbers. You just have to find the right one. So I like a Juju first quarter, but a Hollywood first half.
Oh, okay.
Because he is a more of a deep threat who can rack up one catch, a 40-yard catch that could surpass all of Juju's little dink and dunks from the first quarter. So it's kind of like fishing. You get them early, then once you hook them, like Roy Jones, then once you hook them, that's when you get them deep, and then you bring it in there. And Hollywood Brown, these are receivers who I see having nice first halves or even second halves, whatever it is, and then having nothing else. Not the consistent, like Kelsey's more consistent through the game. AJ Brown consistent through the game, like that. Your Hollywood Browns, your Juju, your even Justin Watsons. These are guys who are just sprinkle, and they come in and then they go. So give me Hollywood Brown 13-1 to lead the first half in receiving yards.
Okay, I like that. And
like Kramer was saying, it's not going to take much to do this stuff. I mean, like this could be a 145-yard catch, and they're doing the first half between first half and first quarter is one. Obviously, you got an extra quarter to play with, but you're guaranteed yourself a couple of drives. First quarter,
you might get nothing.
The Chiefs might only have 1 2-minute drive.
It's fair.
Kramer, do you have any more leaders left?
Do not.
This one to me, it is the favorite, but
I gave out the Juju receptions earlier, but yeah, that's
Saquon Barkley, fastest ball carrier at plus 225.
Yeah.
I love this one.
How do you even track it?
I know.
Well, they have the next gen stats. I'll be sitting there at the Super Bowl party with my stopwatch.
No, you won't.
No, but well, here's the thing. First off, it's fastest ball carrier, so they have him versus Xavier Worthy. But I don't know. It's like you have to be running with the ball.
Right.
I just think it's so much easier for Barkley, who has broken long plays in New Orleans. He had a 60+ yard run. He's had a bunch of these 50, 60+ yard runs in the playoffs. Against the Rams, he lit him up for these super long runs, and that's when you really get to your top speed. So he's the favorite. He's super fast, but at plus 225, I don't see anyone beating him.
I did also say they said who's gonna be the first one they show in next gen stats. Just like put in that.
They're gonna show next gen stats. We think,
of course.
Yeah, they always get you in next gen stats.
Well, it's not the Hall of Fame game. It's a damn Super Bowl.
It is the Super Bowl. All right, let's close things out with the little.
I'm a degenerate.
#Legends only.
Kramer, do you have a?
I'll give an Eagles one that you ruined earlier in the show.
Okay, great.
Reverse correlation 101. Saquon Barkley's great at it.
Yeah.
Don't even need to put a touchdown in this one for a 43-1.
Ooh.
Under 2.5 receptions, over 49.5 yards. That's it.
Very
43-1,
but simple and pays out pretty good.
Now, I have to say this out loud.
Yeah.
If you do it with 25 yards, again, so if you split the yards in half, it's 10-1. I will also be playing that. It's 10. So in hindsight, I should have used this for my ladder. A rare same game parlay ladder. So yeah, Barkley under receptions and before someone asks if you want to play the alt under 1.5 with the 25, that will probably get you to similar pricing as this one, which is 50-1.
For me, Ryan, we can't, unfortunately, NFL won't allow.
What do you mean?
Us to parlay first touchdowns because there's only one game. So I can't parlay conference championship first touchdowns. Although maybe they'll allow me to leave an open parlay leg for NFL Week 1. I'm parlaying Jahan Dotson first touchdown with Eagles defense last touchdown.
Wow.
CJ, can I interest you in a prop that's you put $10 on this? And you're winning 15 grand. Yes, sir. Count me in.
Yes, sir.
Wow. So that is Dotson first, defense last.
Yep.
Love it.
2 things. That's all you need.
2 things, same game.
Same game.
I don't even have to flip channels. I can just watch the Super Bowl the entire time. I don't have to flip over to the Puppy Bowl. I don't have to see.
No.
I don't have to see what Saquon Barkley is up to. Or that's Capital Bark.
There is a Debo Samuel dog this year.
Really?
Oh, nice.
I'll have to look
Why'd
at
they put him in there? He didn't make it to the Super
Did you
Bowl.
see Debo in the Eagles jersey yesterday?
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's why they put him in.
There's a bit of a love triangle. So apparently, when AJ Brown left Jalen Hurts, he acquired Debo as new BFF. I don't know if you follow in AJ Brown's love.
Wow.
That's when he picked up reading. Because Jalen Hurts doesn't read. He started reading when he got with Debo.
Jalen Hurts doesn't read now.
No,
I know you already said AJ Brown can't read.
CJ, what do Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown have in common?
Jalen
that
Hurts
they can't
doesn't
read?
read. I didn't say he can't read. Don't project.
Oh, okay.
I said AJ Brown can't read.
Oh, okay.
Jalen Hurts went to a great university down there in Alabama, not Mississippi.
Yeah, but he also has that Hillman look to him from a different world, if you will. And
You ever seen that map where it says that's what people from Alabama say? At least we're not Mississippi.
And he speaks in quotes. Yes, absolutely, I have.
What does the Mississippi one say? At least we're not Alabama.
CJ, you got a Eagles DGen parlay?
Eagles DGen parlay. What a number you just tossed out there. Because I also
That was a little intimidating.
yeah, I know, but I can get there though.
It's classic
I mean,
Sean being a tout.
if $10 gets you five, I mean, I
1 million to 1.
I only need $2 to get you $15,000.
What's-
Oh, really?
If we're gonna go numbers like that,
What's Powerball at?
like I said, I had a little change of heart, a little bit outside there.
Oh.
It's just week of how this game's going to go. I see AJ Brown having a
Yeah,
good game.
you said that.
Talk me into it.
So AJ Brown 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Put that in there. He's at 13-1 to get 2 touchdowns. Parlay that, and I'm going to take a little page there for me with the last touchdown.
Yeah.
If we want to get $2 to win you over 15,000, Kenneth Gainwell last touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
It's 50,
Kenny G, play that
55
sax.
to 1. Can I interest you in a 7,830 to 1 parlay?
You guys are disgusting.
We're DGens, right?
If you just do Gainwell anytime, that's 830 to 1. If you just do Gainwell last touchdown, it's 55 to 1. But let's do it. AJ 2 touchdowns, Gainwell last touchdown, 7,800 to 1.
Love it. Love it. How does this not hit?
What's funny is when the first thing I thought about when I was going to build my parlays was anytime touchdowns. And the second thing I was like, oh man, remember how cool it was that game where there was only 1 touchdown and first touchdown and last touchdown?
Yes. First and last. Good bar up in Hartford.
I mean,
Kramer, what do you got? What's your Chiefs DGen only parlay?
well, so this is not quite like the status of the moon or anything, but I will say that when I landed on the fact that both my teams same game parlays were the exact same price, I said this is a sign. Juju and Noah Gray anytime touchdowns, 43 to 1. Ship it.
Juju and Noah Gray.
Yep.
All right.
Just two guys scoring touchdowns.
You're all in on them, so may as well keep feeding it.
Just 2 guys scoring touchdowns.
I'm in on 2. I like it.
I have a Chiefs parlay, and well, let's start. I think the Eagles defense is very good. So we're going to start with the Chiefs under 14.5 point total. Patrick Mahomes to throw 2 interceptions and the Chiefs to allow 2 sacks to Nolan Smith. 95 to 1.
I love it.
And that would be looking pretty good for my Nolan Smith MVP as well.
I just realized that I should have priced out a Noah Gray first and last touchdown. 425 to 1.
Oh my God.
CJ, what do you got? What do you got for your Eagles DGen parlay?
Oh, that's exciting. Noah Gray first and last is exciting. I'm not gonna lie.
Whoa.
They can still lose.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, first and last can still lose. The 9-7's a winner. I will say, I was also trying to get some interceptions in there and parlays and whatnot. I got one early on. They allowed me. I just did a quick little birthday banger.
Yes.
Of a Cooper DeJean, who's birthday boy, along with Barkley. Barkley anytime touchdown, Cooper DeJean interception. That's just under 10 to 1. Just real quick, just throw a little birthday banger out there. I can't believe DraftKings doesn't offer it as a menu, as a fun little
Birthday banger.
All right, a little birthday banger.
That's the exact kind of thing they would love.
Exactly.
I think they would be on top. I think they'd have some social guy who just has the birthdays of every NFL player.
Yeah, I'm not leaving this NFL season without a Noah Gray 2 touchdown in there in the parlay. I mean, I've been playing it all year. Noah Gray 2 touchdowns, and I just toss in what I think it's a pretty badly priced Kareem Hunt anytime is plus 140. I think it's I'm not saying he's Jalen Hurts Saquon material, but I think he should be definitely more towards minus 110 or at least plus 110. I mean, plus 140 seems pretty high for him. So Kareem Hunt anytime, Noah Gray 2 touchdowns, plus 13,340. That's a nice little juice.
Interesting, interesting note about the correlation engine. When I played the Noah Gray first and last, it was 425 to 1. If I add in 2 touchdowns, it only juices the price up to 450 to 1.
Wow, that's
right? Like it thinks it's like it must have had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. No.
Don't correlation.
Don't let that computer know. That's not what we're thinking at all.
just doing some
one touchdown.
We just want to know if you knew. You don't. You showed your cards, computer.
Just penetration testing the
he's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Happy Super Bowl week, everyone. Awesome week of shows. 59 props. Tune into the pregame show, 1:00 Pacific. Call in questions, picks, predictions. The time is yours, audience. And then VSiN show tomorrow. Sure, we'll get CJ to call in 11 o'clock East, 8 o'clock Pacific. You can get it on Sirius, VSiN.com, YouTube TV. Plenty of ways to get down. And big game, promo code big game. Get you one of these D-Gens hats. They're pretty sweet. And squares. Ryan, do we have any squares left or are they all gone?
I am combing through to see if there are any rule breakers.
Okay.
I'm going to assume we have a handful, but yeah.
All right. Maybe we'll give the handful out on the pregame show. If not, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/squares. And of course,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
Bottom line bombs coming up right after the show.
Perfect.
The whole point why I had to keep pushing back my time start during your guys' fight so I can at least get the lead in audience, and then you're just going to throw it right back to it. My goodness. Well, you got, mom and dad had to fight for a little bit early on and get out there. Then it was a pissing match on when we were going to start. And the point is, bottom line bombs after this, come on over. You're welcome here. There'll be no forfeiting. Just come in the box.
Yeah.
Get in the box.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
They don't have to go anywhere. Just
stay locked in.
Stay locked in. That's the best part about it.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, Stacking the Money Green. He's Ryan.
Noah Juju.
Kramer. Let it ride.